Okay. So the directions on this first one, they say simplify, and that's all it tells you. The worksheets, the reason why I like these worksheets so much is because it's going to be like when you take your knowledge check. It's just going to give those directions. When you're working in Learn, it gives you the title. And so when it gives you the title, you kind of have an idea of what you're supposed to be doing. But once you get into the worksheets, it's just like the quizzes. Okay? So the first one is x minus 2 over x squared plus 3x minus 10. And it says to simplify. So you have to think about these things as what they are. What do I mean by that? Okay, so I have a binomial up here. See that? And I have a trinomial down here. When I see binomials and trinomials, I think factoring. So I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do for these in order to factor them so that I can simplify them? The binomial at the top, those guys don't have anything in common. And for a binomial, if you remember, you have to have greatest common factor or difference of two squares. So that binomial is just going to stay x minus 2. Now, for the trinomial, I might be able to factor him. So I can come over to the side, and I'm going to take that trinomial, x squared plus 3x minus 10, and I'm going to try to factor him. X squared plus 3x minus 10. So I can use my method that we used in class. If you use another method, use your other method. But okay, so this tells me that I'm supposed to get a plus and a minus. It also tells me that I'm supposed to subtract to get the 3. So I know I'm getting a plus and a minus. I have my x squared, my 3x, and my 10. I just write them down. I don't worry about the signs right now. So I'm going to stack my two binomials on top of each other. And I know x squared is x times x. And for 10, I can use 1 times 10. 1 times 10. Or I can use 2 times 5. Either of those. Whichever I use, they have to come back up here. It has to subtract to make a 3. So it's going to have to be the 2 and the 5. So I'll put my 2 and my 5 in. And then whenever I go back and look at my cross, okay, this is going to multiply together and make a 5x. This is going to multiply together and make a 2x. And so if I subtract those, I get the 3x. Now, you've got to come back up here, though, to get your signs. You know that one of these has to be plus and one has to be minus. And right here, the 3, the middle term was positive, so that means that the big guy has to be the positive one. So you would need a plus here and a minus there. So there's my factored form of x squared plus 3x minus 10, so I would write those factors down. So I have an x minus 2 and an x plus 5. Okay, now to me, the only tricky part on this is whenever you start doing your dividing out. So you'll notice that you have a common factor in the numerator and the denominator of x minus 2. And so those x minus 2's divide out. You cannot leave a numerator blank. This x plus 5 is in the denominator. You can put parentheses around them if you want. You don't need to. And so now that the x minus 2 is divided out, you've got to put a 1 in the numerator. So there is simplifying x minus 2 over x squared plus 3x minus 10. I know, it's just easy. And there's several of them. You had, I think, 4 on yours like that.
Really?
Yeah. So you just got to factor them. It's not too difficult. Okay. Let's try your next one. And so I'm going to do the bottom one, Tristan, that you've got on the board, because that last one's going to take a little bit more work, okay? Or the first one up there. So for this one, your second question was solve and it was 21 over x is equal to 27 over x minus 2. Now, you can do this one of two ways, or think about it one of two ways. I think about it in fraction form, so I think about it as what's the common denominator.
So would it be x and then x minus 2?
Yes. So what I would do for this one is I would take that common denominator and I would multiply by the common denominator, which you've already told me is x times x minus 2. Okay, x times x minus 2. So when I write it out, I'm going to take that common denominator, x times x minus 2, and I'm going to multiply it times the left side. Okay, and then I'm going to take that common denominator, x times x minus 2, and I'm going to multiply it times the right side. Well, and the beauty of this is going to be that dividing out. Don't forget that you're working with a fraction, so these are technically fractions like that over 1. So this is going to work nicely. This x is going to divide out with this x. And over on the right-hand side, the x minus 2 is going to divide out with the x minus 2. So that was the beauty of using the common denominator. So those both divided out. Okay, so now I can solve it. So I would have 21 distributed. So that's going to be 21x minus 42 is equal to, and now I multiply 27 times x, which just is 27x. And so that's turned it into a linear equation. A linear equation is a degree of 1. So those x's actually have powers of 1. Okay. I got to get all the x's on one side. I am not going to mess with that 27x. He's already over there by himself. So I need to get the 21x to the other side. This is a positive 21x. So you should have subtracted 21x from both sides. And those will zero out. So you get negative 42 is equal to 27 minus 21 is 6.
Okay, so why did you not cancel out the x if you're subtracting?
Okay, so that's like your like terms. Remember when you're adding like terms together? Okay, so watch. If I'm adding, let me change a color. Get blue. Okay, if I'm adding 4x plus 3x, remember the x stays the same, and I just add 4 plus 3 is 7. If I'm taking 27x minus 21x, the x stays the same, and I just subtract 27 minus 21, which is 6. So it's just your like terms.
So we're going to divide by 6?
Yes. That is our last step. Divide by 6, divide by 6. The 6's divide out. And so your final answer is x is equal to negative 7, because 6 times negative 7 would give you negative 42. Okay? That one wasn't too bad. So, Tristan, when you see equations that have fractions in them, I want you to think common denominator. Okay? Think common denominator. Okay, and then last one. Now, this one's going to take a little bit more work. It's not hard. And I think, y'all raise your hand if I've already shown you how I like these to work. His problem is over there up on the top. 2v squared minus 4v plus 19 equals parentheses v minus 4 squared. I think I've walked around and said, I don't like the way they do it. Try it like this instead. No? Okay. I don't like the explanation because it's too easy to make a mistake with the signs. Okay, so you are now going to be solving again. That's the only direction that you get. Solve. And your equation is 2v squared minus 4v plus 19 is equal to v minus 4 squared. Okay, so right away, I know that one's going to be a quadratic. And it looks scary, but I promise it's really not. You guys can do this one. It's actually pretty simple, okay? The first thing you should notice is over here, you've got this binomial v minus 4, and it's squared. So the first thing I want you to do is to figure out what v minus 4 squared would be equal to. So I want you to FOIL it. So you have v minus 4. Do you already know what it is, Tristan? What is it?
I don't know. I kind of agree. Is it v squared minus 8v plus 16?
V squared, tell me the middle term?
Minus 8v
Plus 16. That's perfect. Perfect. So it's v squared minus 8v plus 16. That's exactly right. Okay, so that would be your first step. First step. So we didn't do anything to the left-hand side, so I'm going to write the left-hand side down. Okay, so 2v squared minus 4v plus 19. I cannot solve this equation just yet. Quadratic equations need to be in standard form. Standard form is whenever you have your ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. That's standard form for a quadratic equation. You have to have all the terms on one side and 0 on the other side. So I can easily do that now. I'm going to get all the v squares, all the v's, all the numbers on one side. Okay, I want you to notice that you've got a 2v squared right here and just a 1v squared right there. You see that? You need to subtract that 1v squared from both sides. Because you got 2v squared on this side. And that way your coefficient, your numerical coefficient, will be positive. It's going to be easier. Okay, so if I've made that first step and I'm moving everything to the left side, then I need to move all of it. So I'm going to add 8v to both sides. And then I'm going to subtract 16 from both sides. Now what that's done for me is that's given me now my 0, which is what I need to solve a quadratic equation. I've got to have a 0. So everything on the right side zeroed out. Okay, so now let's simplify the left-hand side. What am I going to get? Anybody?
Will you just get 1?
1v squared, yes. And then what?
We'll get 4v.
Plus 4v, positive, right? And then what?
Plus 3.
Plus 3. And so now, that's why I said these are actually not that hard, because now you guys can just solve it, okay? So to solve this one, you can use your cross right here, or however you like to do it. It doesn't matter. Some of you are factoring in a different way. So this tells me that my signs are the same. They're both going to be positive. And it also tells me that I have to add my insides and outsides and make a 4. So I have v squared, 4v, and 3. So I'm going to stack my binomials. V squared, I break it down as v times v. And my only choices for 3 are 1 times 3. So I'm going to have to use 1 and 3. And I know they have to both be positive. So I can double check that now. So if I multiply across, that's going to give me a 3v. And this way it'll give me a 1v. And if I add those together, that's a 4v. So I'm looking good so far. But am I finished? Because this is the deal. When you take the quiz next week, remember how it's not multiple choice. So you have to put the answers in, right? So if you just put v plus 1 times v plus 3, that would be incorrect. Even though your work is beautiful, but what did the directions say? It said to solve. If you're solving something, you're giving me a numerical answer. V is 10. V is 4. V is solve means give me the numerical answer. Factor or simplify. That would be a simplify. I'd be finished. Okay? Solve. Give me a numerical answer. So this is where you go into and use that zero product property. So V plus 1 times V plus 3 is equal to 0. And remember, now you break them apart. So V plus 1 equals 0, or V plus 3 equals 0. So what are my two answers? -1. And what was the other one? -3. That's right. So those are my two answers, -1 and -3. Those were 3 great questions.